expect? You know, do the sort of mid-older players want to still play for Richmond? We don't know. The trade window's currently going. Richmond haven't done anything yet. In fact, the one trade Richmond have been linked with is Jacob Kaczynski from Hawthorn, who barely played in season 2023. Doesn't look great. We should be going for Mitch Lewis, not Kaczynski. And we're giving up probably a pick in the 20s for him, which is ridiculous. We need to keep our picks. Anyway, so obviously the coaching situation doesn't help us. We've lost Peggy O'Neill in the last couple of years, who was the president who kept Damien Hardwick on, who eventually won those 3 flags. Brendan Gale's been linked with jobs higher up in the AFL, so he's always been seeming to go for the last 3-4 years. So we never know with Brendan Gale. So there's a lot of changes up high as well. Now, another key indicator around a team's depth and their youth is their VFL program. Richmond in the VFL last year, out of 21 clubs, we did finish 9th, so we are the top half of the table. However, our percentage in the VFL last year was, I believe, 12th, so not great. Now let's talk about different categories in the field. We'll talk about the defensive line already. Our backline has something. I've already mentioned Tyler Young, Gibkiss if he gets his body fit. Noah Bolter is great, however, he is so prone to an absolute clanger, terrible mistake in the defensive line. We need to fix that. So defensively, we're not looking too bad, okay? It's when we get into the midfield, and I know people say defenses win premierships. In the AFL, the midfield is the engine room. That's where everything's built around. If your midfield's playing well, generally speaking, your team's playing well. Let me go through Richmond's midfield, all right? Dion Prestia, experienced player. He's old now. He's slow. He is not up to footy pace, and he's constantly injured with his soft tissue injuries. Dustin Martin, if he's still at the club next year, he's obviously more of a forward line player now. So even last year, he played far more forward, and this year, especially given that he's going to be a year older, he'll play more in the forward line. Jack Ross, as a midfielder, so unconvincing. He did have a better year than a lot of players around his age for Richmond. I've already talked about Ralph Smith. I'm not convinced. Tim Taranto was our best player last year. Taranto, Martin,